Hi, welcome back to Conversations with April and Sherry Ann about self-care. Today, we're going to talk about how do you do self-care for your mental body? That's
Mhm.
pretty much your mind. So let's jump in.
Yeah, I love it. So yeah, the mental is interesting, right? We think we're always thinking. We have lots of thoughts through our journey. Our brain is going everywhere. There's so much information coming at us. We're filtering information, and sometimes it's just a lot, right? It's just
Right,
load. Like I don't even.
right. So
When you're
how do you do self-care
right,
mentally?
right, when you're just like ah. So a lot of stuff that we've come up with is just things like journaling. Just
Hmm.
many of us have heard this, like journal, and it kind of sounds scary sometimes, but when you do it, it really helps. It's really like getting everything that's in here, that's all like gummed up, out.
Right,
Put it on paper, and that it's very therapeutic to sort of just
right.
out.
Right. I mean, and as you're saying that, it's like, let's not just let it swirl in your head. That's not self-care. Self-care is like, let's hear what's circling in your head. So it could be therapy, it could be working with a coach, it could be like putting it down on paper, like you said, on in journaling, but it also could be, I've heard so many people wanting to do this, is writing your story.
Right.
Not that it has to be read by anybody else or ever seen by anyone else, but for you to write your story
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. Yeah, because I just came to me of sort of that idea of writing down your story and reading it is like honoring your story, like honoring yourself. Like
Hmm.
that's so much self-love in honoring this story that you are living. I think
Right.
often we forget how important it is because you're just going through your story and think, oh, whatever, I'm just going through a cancer journey. But it's a big deal. It's a lot.
It's a big deal. And actually, I want to say your whole life is a big deal. And we tend to discount, oh, I'm just so and so. Well,
Right.
no, nobody is just so and so. Everybody has a unique story. Everyone has their own story. That's just their story. I love that.
I
And
love
I'm staring at the picture behind you. And it's like, doesn't have to be in words. What if your story comes out in a painting?
right. Yeah, absolutely. It's so beautiful. Yeah. Your mind is that letting out everything that you're trying to process through creativity, like
Right,
in your work and
right,
your career. I mean, that's something
right.
we spend so much time in our life on, and that's a lot of mental work is our career and our life's work, whatever that is.
I love that you said that because I just had that realization. Not, I mean, like truly, I think it was last week where I was working going, wow, I'm not honoring self-care. And then my daughter said, Mom, you're doing the work that feeds you. You're doing the work that brings you alive. That's self-care, doing stuff that matters to us and because we matter.
Right.
Wow. It
Yeah.
just gave me permission to work. It's like,
It's
I
good.
don't have to, not that I want to be a workaholic and I wouldn't
Right.
do that, but um, just knowing that doing my work is self-care.
Yes. Yeah, and if you're in a place where you're not sure what your work is, like, and you're trying to manifest what it is that your purpose is, right, in your work, that there's opportunity to find that in this
Hmm.
mental self-care, right? Of
Hmm.
to find out like what does my mind want to do? What do I want to put
Right.
my energy into? Like for me,
Right.
decided I wanted to be a cancer coach. Whew, it was just like explosion. Mind explosion of like, oh my God, I found it. Oh my God, I found the thing that I love that is just effortless and amazing and so fulfilling. And my self-care, my mental self-care was just like, okay, I did it.
Right. Right. It's like this cling, cling, cling. You're on it.
Yeah.
For me, on that same vein, when I was little, I used to love to teach
Mm,
school. And I would line up my stuffed animals on my bed And then I would teach them 1+1 is 2. And then I would read to them. And I didn't know that. I mean, I thought I was just emulating my teacher, which was fun, but I didn't realize until I sat back and really thought about it
Yeah.
that what I loved to do was to teach people.
Right.
So being a cancer journey coach teacher
Mm-hmm.
totally brings me alive and is the cling 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 that you're talking about. It's like,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
I
which is part.
I love it because I feel like we're kind of arriving at this idea of the mental self-care is like what lights your brain up, right? Like
Mhm.
what lights up your mind, which everything's all connected. It also lights your spirit and your, everything
I
kind of.
know it's hard to not even touch the other parts because it's like if you do that, all of a sudden my body is a buzz right now. It's like, yes, once you find out what makes sense, because that's what your head is looking for, right? Your brain is trying to what makes sense, and then what's in alignment with my heart. It's like, ah, I'm just alive and buzzing.
Yeah. That just made me think of another piece of this like mental self-care is that our belief, right?
Mm,
In ourselves, what we believe in our purpose in life, that like part of that mental self-care is tuning into what do I believe about
right,
who I am, about what
right,
I'm meant for.
right. And I'm gonna add into that. What are your values? What's important to me? So on top of your beliefs, and then putting your values on, and then honoring them.
Yes.
Like,
Yep.
oh, yeah,
Beliefs and values and your boundaries. So
yeah,
creating those pillars of you. That's a big piece of mental self-care is taking care of who you are and standing on that platform.
yep, yep. Oh man, I love this.
Yeah.
All right, more to be discussed.
Thank you.
Let's pause that here and I'll see you on the other side. Okay.